Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Cup of the Crown. My name is Audrey. I am your crown and this is my cup. I actually got this cup at Michael's a couple of years ago, and it says, "You say witch like it's a bad thing." So, yesterday, the Chinese deities were supposed to drop, and once again, you see that I'm in my living room. How mystical and magical it is. This is one of the shirts that I got from Walmart. It was like $5. I'm very proud of it. You know, because 'tis the season. Tis the spooky season. So I'm actually kind of enjoying it a little. Yes. So yesterday I was recording the Chinese deities. And then as that was happening, my husband came home and he realized how badly I butchered the names. After he kind of army crawled across our living room. So I stopped recording and we practiced for like an hour on these names to the point where we wrote them out sound-wise to be able to do this better. Now, once again, my Chinese, never spoken Chinese in my life. So I'm giving you guys now, I'm doing the best that I can. There are some letters in the Chinese alphabet that does not really translate into the English translation. So bear with me on this, but I'm doing the best that I can. A couple of things that you need to know about the Chinese deities. The Chinese gods, they are worshipped by modern witches. And they are modified by Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism. The majority of the early gods are associated with nature, and later, more generalized ideas. The Chinese system is very different from the Western system. Yeah, there are some things that you can relate to, but for example, like the Eight Immortals, these were originally humans that ascended into godhood. So they weren't, it's not like in Greek mythology where, you know, Athena popped out of Zeus's head, you know, a god, or was born a god. These are gods that have achieved godhood through hard work, mastering their craft, and ascended into godhood. So that's something you have to remember too. The Chinese culture very much is about hard work, dedication, and mastery of your skills. And that is something that you definitely see within their deities. Now, the Chinese Pantheon, is it a fixed or determined Pantheon? Like most Westerns, it's actually the mythology places different gods at the top. But the ones we're going to talk about are the most important, are the ones that really are the most important when it comes to the gods. So, and the ones that I'm going to mention now are just the Eight Immortals, and there are other important deities that you need to look out for. Now, even in Dao Zi Wu painting is a copy of it's an ancient Chinese mural called 60 Gods. There are a lot more than what I'm going to name, but these are just the ones that are the most prominent. So let's start from the beginning. These are the gods that are their Taoist deities, and they were born human and they ascended into godhood, like I mentioned before. So Cao Jujui, he possesses a jade tablet that cleanses the environment. Now, once again, nature is a hugely played in the Chinese culture. And you'll see in poems, paintings, literature, I mean, hell, think about any of Chinese work that you've seen. Like even in, I want to mention this because it's probably most relatable, Memoirs of Geisha, the movie. you see that the cherry blossoms, the extent of nature, the Chinese gardens, that you see that symbolism. And yes, I'm thinking that it's Japanese, but it's the ritualistic respect for nature is prominent in both. So that's the closest thing that I can bring you guys to understand. The other movie I don't think it's really very prominent. The respect for nature is really prominent in the movie that I'm thinking of, which is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. So you see it a lot in their literature and a lot in their arts too. So that's something that was really important to this particular god and held high esteem when it came to the Chinese culture. Han Zhuangzi is a philosopher and associated with the life-giving flute. She will play this flute and things would come back to life. He Zhangzhu. She is the only goddess in the Immortal Eight. She is the goddess associated with health and healing. Lon Kai. We don't know for sure if it's male, female, non-binary, but most of the time it's depicted here as a young male. Now, he carries a basket of flowers that are associated with longevity. So, longer the lifespan, longer something lasts. The Taiwan attends to the poor, sick, and needy. Lei Dongben is associated with wisdom, enlightenment, and also is known to be a drunk and a philanderer. Philanderer. Bless it. He sounds like one that I would actually enjoy, though. There is Julo, which is the oldest in age of the eight. But it's associated with health, wine, and Qui-Gon, which is a method of calculating energy. And then the leader of the eight and has a fan that can revive the dead. It's called John Quan. And those are the Eight Immortals. Those are the ones that have ascended into godhood. Now let's talk about other prominent ones. And some of these you might actually have mentioned, or you might actually know of. Like Kanyin, which is the goddess of mercy and peace. She is also the protector of women. She is the second in importance in Buddha. According to some legends, she was once human, but became a goddess. She's associated with the lotus flower. You see a lot of lotus flowers in architecture, and paintings, and like that kind of thing too. Even like in Buddhism, the lotus flower is very highly respected and is a religious symbol. The Jade Emperor is the supreme god of all deities in Buddhism and Taoism. He is the god of purity and the creator that tracks incarnation and rules over every aspect of earthly life. In heaven, he is Yun Hang Shang Ti. On earth, he is known as the Jade Emperor. He's not directly involved in life reincarnation. He's like the CEO, so he doesn't have a general hand in like the common things. He's not like, oh, this person goes there, this person goes there, this person goes there. He's the general rule. Like when big things come to change, they travel up this ladder. So he's not directly in the lives of people, but he rules remotely. Si Wang Mu is the goddess of longevity in the underworld. She is the oldest of Chinese goddesses. She was once a plague goddess, but under Taoism has softened. She determines the length of life and grants immortality. She's also depicted as a tiger-toothed woman. Sao Chan is the kitchen and hearth god and is honored by every household. He is a conduit for the Jade Emperor. Becomes legend states that he travels to heaven each year to report to the members of the household. Kian Howe is the queen of heaven and the goddess of oceans and first waters. She is also the goddess of fishing. She was born human, but was later elevated to goddesshood. She was second in power to the Jade Emperor, and she's also associated with boats. Son, there's Monkey, which is also known as Song Wukong. He is a trickster god, okay? And according to legend, he was first visited the underworld to tear up his name to prevent his death. Now, if you realize, if you're in the Chinese calendar, if you read Monkey, which is so funny, because the only reason why I relate to this is because in the Chinese New Year, I was born in the year of the monkey. And I relate to this trickster god. He visited the world to tear up his name to prevent his death. He then traveled to heaven. Buddha said that he could rule heaven if he could leap off Buddha's hand. The monkey leapt many miles, believing he succeeded, but only discovered that he was still in Buddha's palm. Huge. That's what I find really, really cool and kind of funny. So that's something that I would definitely get you guys to look at. And this just is a generalization of the culture. If you want to dig more into it, by all means, you can. You can look it up, buy books, things along those lines. If you want to see one of the resources that I have, that I highly use as a to-go source, it is The Witch's Journal by Celine Silverwind. It's absolutely amazing. It's a great go-to witches guide. It has a bunch of stuff there that you can do. I've mentioned it before, but I'd like to mention again because a lot of what I do, especially in the God series, that's one of my to-go research tools. So just that you guys know. Now, in the next couple of days, it might be tomorrow, it might be a couple of days, I will be dropping the African deities. I'm only just imagining me having to pronounce their names. That's it. So, for those of you who don't know, I have dropped a Snapchat, which is WitchTalk713. I've dropped a Twitter, which is at WitchTalk713. And I have dropped a TikTok at WitchTalk713. Something that a lot of people don't know is that I'm trying to be on every kind of social media platform as I possibly can, because different people are on different media sites. There's some people who enjoy the leisurely of Facebook. There's some people who enjoy the visual enticement of TikTok. There's some people who enjoys the quick readings of Twitter. And there's some people who enjoys the fun hipsterness of Instagram. And I'm trying to be open. I'm trying to be on all of these things. But of course, I still have my email, my phone number, things along those lines. And of course, my website's still there. You can go to my website. You can click on my contact page, and there lists everything that you would need to contact or have conversations with TikTok. Just to let you know, my Instagram messages, my Facebook messages, my Twitter DMs, my everything that you can do to reach out to me if you have questions, concerns, comments, you can. Definitely. I had a young lady yesterday reach out to me and had me a question about one of my TikToks, and I love when you guys reach out to me and ask questions, because I like to be as much of a mentor as I possibly can. So there is that. But thank you guys so much for being with me while I'm going through this wonderful journey of, witch talk. And getting settled into the house. A couple things I want to let you guys know. Yesterday, I dropped a podcast episode called How to Fast Bake Dom, How to Realize a Real One. It is now on all platforms. We are trying to get on Amazon. I put in my application to buy Amazon for put witch talk there. I have also, there's another new episode on the podcast, and there is a couple of things yesterday. Ugh, my mind's slipping. This is what happens when you don't drink your coffee, kiddos. Or you have really bad ADHD. Ooh, yes. I released a episode on my mental illness series, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. It's a new series that I'm going to be working on. It gives a higher understanding of certain mental disorders and awareness, and a bigger understanding of it. And I would like to start with PTSD, because I am a victim of PTSD. I do have PTSD. I've been diagnosed with CPTSD, and I'm very lucky to have gone through healing and be able to help as much as I can. And I would like to give awareness to certain mental illnesses and have more spotlight on mental health as I possibly can. I want to urge you guys to vote. And I think that's about it. But I hope you guys have a great day, a very blessed day on this Tuesday. And I would like to say, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Bye, guys.